Alright. Shoulder kitty. Lately here in America, the whole country seems to be obsessing over Donald versus Hillary. Personally, I don't care for either of them, and if you ask me, I think my cat could probably run the country better than them. After all, who could possibly get more votes than the internet's favorite fuzzy babies? Well, luckily, I'm not the first person to feel this way, and a little developer called A Rock Studios decided to make a little game called Cat President, a more perfect union. It's another visual novel with animals, but luckily it doesn't have any more of that weird... It's another visual novel with animals, but luckily it doesn't have any of that weird interspecial relationship stuff that Hot Little Boyfriend did. I hope. Oh, and by the way, this video does contain spoilers for one of the routes you can play through in Cat President, so consider yourself warned. The game begins with you, our heroine, telling us about how she got involved in the world of politics. You get to pick a name in this game too. I'll be honest, I thought I was going to be playing as a cat, so I decided to name myself after one of my cats, Lulu. I realized sometime later that I was playing as a human, and, well, I decided just to stick with it. So our best friend Lizzie, who we never see again after this point, invites us to tonight's presidential debate. At which point we learn that 20 years ago, the government became so corrupt that the Supreme Court decided to ban all humans from politics. Wow, this game must take place in the near future, huh? Now the only politicians we have are cats, which is apparently a lot more effective. Lulu must be as interested in politics as I am because while she accepts the invitation, she is pretty hesitant about it and only seems to be in it for all the cute cats. But can you blame her? Look at this little turd. After arriving early, we wander around looking for a bathroom, only to get lost and stumble upon... this thing. This is Thunderpaw, and I'm pretty sure he's supposed to represent Donald Trump because he's got that terrible wig, he's pretty mean, and he has supporters like this guy. You're then joined by Frisky and DJ Nibbles, and soon realize that these are 3 of the 6 presidential candidates who are debating tonight. While Frisky and Nibbles are good little kitties, Thunderpaw threatens to call security, at which point we make a hasty exit, only to run into 2 more candidates, Kale and... Dr. Nom Noms? The story describes each of the candidates' debate skills, giving you a general taste for each of their personalities. And we finally meet the 6th candidate, Rover. As the debate draws towards its end, the moderator announces that they will choose an audience member at random to ask the final question. Oh boy, I bet it's gonna be someone other than the main character. Lulu! Oh, what are the odds? I don't know much about politics, but I know politicians are supposed to help people. I lost my job at the grocery store last week, and I'm still having trouble finding a new one. If I don't get a job soon, I might lose my apartment. What will you, as president, do to help people like me? As an admittedly drastic response, Dr. Nom Noms decides to offer you a job as his campaign manager. And then all of the candidates fight over hiring you as their campaign manager. You may not have maintained your career as a grocer, but surely you'll make a fine campaign manager for this presidential election. It's at this point that we get to choose which of the 6 candidates we'll work for, which will then determine the story for the rest of the game. I'm almost tempted to go for Rover, but this kinda creeped me out. Meow. So I'll pick someone else. At this screen you get to hear each cat's unique meow. Meow. And when you move your mouse over them real fast, it sounds like this. I decided to go with Kale because he kinda looks the closest to my cats, and Kale is good for you. After starting your career as a campaign manager, you realize just how incompetent your character is. One of the first events she plans is to have Kale give a speech at her old school, where she reunites with her old history teacher, Mr. Drew, who has no problem being upfront with Lulu about her shortcomings. Oh yeah, Mr. Drew, we'll show you. Luckily, we've prepared the perfect speech for Kale. He's gonna speak out about the devastating disease known as smallpox. Is this a joke? Who put a speech about smallpox into my notes? That disease was cured in 1980. Oh. Whoops. Luckily, as ditzy as Lulu is, she can be pretty good at thinking on her feet. What's one way to distract from a terrible speech? How about some loud cheering? Woohoo! Hooray for Kale! He cured smallpox. Kale, Kale, Kale. Wait, someone is cheering with us? But who? Mr. Drew? Aw, Mr. Drew led all the other teachers into cheering for Kale. He wasn't such a meanie after all. You were in my class 5 years ago. I'm not gonna hold a grudge against you that long just because you didn't turn in your homework. Aw, gee, I love you too, Mr. Drew. That's weird. That's weird to say that to your teacher. I think there's another man you love more. Or should I say, cat. What is he even talking about? Wait! You'll sort your feelings out in time. Good luck, Lulu. Let's just ignore that for now and pray for the best. I'm sure it has no bearing on the plot. After the school speech, Kale has another debate. As it turns out, there are in fact 50 presidential candidates, and our cats from the beginning of the game were merely in the top 6. Kale's unfortunate struggle is that among the 50 other candidates, he has a hard time standing out. Like literally, he often gets ignored or confused for other cats in the race. During the debate, when it comes time for Kale to speak, he is completely pushed under the rug, angering Lulu. This brings me to my next topic, choices. Throughout the game, there are certain key moments where you'll have to make choices. The choices you make determine what kind of ending you get. Some of the choices are pretty interesting, like the one we have now. We can either cheer for Kale again, or we can run on stage and slap the moderator. As fun as that sounds, I think we better play it safe and just cheer. Kale, Kale, Kale! Shh, I can't hear the debate. Yes, be quiet. Aw, well that was boring. Okay, I gotta try the other one. I ran down the aisle and up toward the stage, screaming incoherently. The security guards caught me and threw me out of the building. Now that's a much more entertaining mental image. Next up we meet Bernice. Bernice is Kale's personal assistant, and for some strange reason, Lulu instantly hates her. She becomes almost jealous. That's odd. Why would Lulu be jealous? He's a cat. She's a human. Bernice is a human. Stay here with me. Stay with me forever. Forever. As the campaign continues, between Lulu's mistakes and Kale's inability to stand out, things are starting to look pretty dire. This campaign is becoming a real campaign in the neck. Things are looking more and more bleak. After a few less than stellar debates, cancelled speeches, and hurtful words from a crazed Thunderpaw supporter, Kale is just about ready to throw in the towel. Unable to bear the sight of a depressed Kale at the edge of his rope, Lulu decides to go for a walk in the rain, when she stumbles upon a pet store. Inside the pet store, we meet creepy snake handling guy who tells us about a sale on pet clothes, which sparks a brilliant idea in Lulu's vacant head. That's what Kale needs to make him stand out. He needs a cute little cat hat. Now, do I want a cheap hat or an expensive one? I'll take the expensive one. I don't care how much it costs. If it saves Kale's campaign, it's worth it. It'll be $30. $30? For a hat? For a hat for a cat? After talking the weird snake boy down to $20, it's back to Kale we go, fancy hat in hand. Now there's a cat that stands out. Look at that fine, distinguished hat. Well, I guess there's no way this debate can get any worse. And besides, it's kinda cute. See, it's perfect. I love you, Kale. What? I mean, good luck in the debate. And as luck would have it, the hat works like a charm. The crowd goes nuts for Kale in his new hat. Hope is here again, and all is well. Lulu and Kale celebrate the next day with dinner, and more awkward conversation ensues. I love the pictures of the cats on the walls. It's so atmospheric. Side note, I'm pretty sure the cat in that picture is licking himself. The only cat I want to look at right now is you, Kale. Here it comes. No, this is wrong. I can't. Yes! Good Kale. Good kitty. I'm a bad cat. What? My whole life has become dedicated to you, Kale. You're practically all I ever think about. And you're practically all I ever think about, Lulu. I love you, Lulu. Oh no. I love you too, Kale. Oh no. Oh, thank goodness. A distraction. Oh my gosh. What is it? You won the primary! Yes! Go, Kale! Let's go back to focusing on the politics. Did I just say that? I grabbed Kale and jumped up and down. He put his paws around my neck and kissed me passionately. Moving right along from all that weirdness, yada yada yada, Kale moves on to be chosen as the candidate from his political party, and now comes face to face with his merciless opponent, the evil, the ugly Frederica. Ew, ew, ew! Look at her! Why does she have boobs? Do cats have boobs under all that fur? Gross! Frederica really pulls out all her claws, using all sorts of slanderous ads to deface the name of Kale, and even goes as far as to knock off his hat at the final debate, exposing Kale's weakness. But our boy Kale won't go down without a fight. Time to bring out the big guns. Bam! Bow tie. A cat with a top hat and a bow tie, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, if he was running for president right now, I'd vote for him. Despite Frederica's experience and onslaught of attack ads, she suffers a crushing defeat, with Kale taking 83% of the votes. Oh, and I guess Lulu and Kale end up getting married. The end. All jokes aside, the time I spent with Cat President was pretty enjoyable. It's got a great sense of humor throughout, and the story really does kind of pull you in, even with all the weird animal-loving stuff going on. I only played through Kale's story so far, which took me about 2 to 3 hours, and with 5 other cats to choose from and multiple endings for each, I'd say there's plenty to see here. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's something I gotta do. Honey, could you turn on the shower for me? Make sure it's extra hot to burn away the demons. Oh my gosh, look at all that cat hair. Oh my gosh. Where's the lint roller? Lint roller. Where are you? Got cat hair in my mouth. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please share it, like it, and leave a comment. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe. If you want to follow me on social media, you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and even Tumblr. I'm at The Portly Gamer on all of those networks, and you can follow me there. Okay, bye.